Hey everybody, it is me, and it is Kika, and we're excited to offer you a little something special for the Witch Girls Adventure game. Kika's not going to be able to join us next time, but that doesn't mean that her character is not off doing things. So we're going to just jump right in and have a little side quest, we'll call it, a little side adventure for all of you. So the last time we were with Elizabeth, the girls had spent some time getting to witness a community gathering for the Coven of 13. And you were approved for your Hex Scout status, but before you left, the headmaster or the headmistress told you that there was somebody special that wanted to speak with you. And at the end of last game, this kind of, I'd say lanky, tall, kind of thin, very pale, short, dark hair, very kind of quaint woman stood on the floor. Her black clothes, black beret, black turtleneck contrasted against the white marble, and she simply beckoned for you to join her.
I feel like when I'm talking to her, I should, like, there should be some, like, bassy, like, stand-up upright bass music playing.
Yeah. Yes, very much. Everybody's like, yeah, snapping in the background. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, she looks a bit like a beatnik. And like I said, she gestures for you, and I'm sure you cross to her.
Hesitantly. She doesn't quite, like, this is a lot for her to just take in, so it's not like quite fully processing.
Mm-hmm.
She just slowly walks over and waves awkwardly.
A smile actually crosses her face, across her kind of thin lips, and she introduces herself. I'm Lady Scion.
Oh, I am Elizabeth.
Oh, I know. I have been very excited to meet you, Elizabeth.
Then why?
She takes a moment, swallows that question. You see her simmer over it in her mind as if seeking the right words. Well, because you and I share something in common, something that a lot of witches do not.
An interest in ethics?
That is definitely something most witches do not share your interest in, but no, we are time and space witches.
Yeah. Oh, you're oh. I was wondering why other people didn't really weren't really interested in time and space magic. It's like the best.
I would happen to agree with you. It is the best. Why don't we take a walk? I'd like to treat you to, a little treat and show you something I think you'll find most interesting.
I'm not used to walking, but okay.
She says, shh, me neither. And she leads you out a different door, like a side door that actually goes to, like, the back side of the Witches World Council, like offices and magistrate. You enter a space, and it's giant. There are cubicles, and the desks float in levels on top of one another, with no floors. People sit and click. Papers fly and zoom past you, going from place to place. Bureaucracy at its finest, basically. She looks up and lets out a little bit of a sigh, as if not as home here. And she says, my office is this way. Come. And she leads you around a corner. She pushes open a door that kind of matches the rest, but when you enter, the space is different. It's kind of a void, as if floating through space. Stars and small lights sparkle. There's a desk that floats kind of in the center, and she simply steps, and when she does, her feet create a ripple on the floor, kind of like water, the top of water.
This is the coolest room I've ever seen.
She says, come on. And it is not a room. It's actually a dimension. I created it. And when she kind of twists her finger, the door closes shut.
Elizabeth is just totally in awe of this. She takes a few slow steps in and just takes a full 2 minutes just looking around at everything.
Yeah, she when she sees kind of looking around and taking it in, again, she kind of swipes her hand, and as she does, the space shrinks in a little bit on itself, bringing in, I don't want to call it walls, but items that would hang on walls. A large bulletin board, a chalkboard, a couple bookshelves. And hanging on this kind of bulletin board are multiple images and pictures. Very conspiracy theory, there are red lines that connect things here and there. You see a picture on this board of a young girl, dark hair, and on it, with an oil marker, a Chinese oil pen, it says Morwen. And everything seems to start there and then parses out, her theories anyways. And says, you've been tasked with quite an endeavor watching those four.
Oh, am I allowed to tell you everything? I think I'm allowed to tell you everything because the headmistress said to. Yeah. I don't fully grasp what's going on, but there is. I've only been there for a day, and a lot has happened.
Oh, she kind of says with a question mark.
Yeah, I'm meeting you. I joined the Hex Scouts when I barely even thought of joining them before. There's this person who's, I don't know, possibly evil, possibly not, maybe working with someone evil, and it's just a lot. And there was the whole thing with the greenhouse. And
oh, what happened with the greenhouse?
Well, one of them, I think it was Percy. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been a lot. But one of them touched one of the plants to make it grow with their green thumb. But it started blooming purple roses, and the whole greenhouse started blooming purple roses.
Mm-hmm.
And then I panicked because it's too much magic. We're not supposed to be doing things like that. So I tried to break the spell, and when I did, I heard a voice in my head asking for help, and then all the plants died. And one of the other ones said that it was from another dimension.
There are a lot of those things that are true. And there are probably a lot of blank spots for you.
Yes.
So I reached out to Aurora as one of my good friends. She and I used to bunk together ourselves. I want to make sure you understand. The other four are personally intertwined with Morwen. She is a soft spot for them, and therefore a potential weakness in the truth of the matter. We at the Witches' World Council, and specifically the Coven of 13, have been doing extreme amounts of research on the events that took place at Willow Mist last semester. Our studies and investigation has led us to believe that there was a rogue group of witches who have been working for many years without our knowledge to raise Echinida. Now, that may not be news to you, but Morwen was being trained for the last about 50 years with one of the witches that are leading this endeavor. We believe that Morwen helped them to begin to open the portal. Whether she understood the severity of her choice, we are unsure. But we are almost 100% certain she is now being held captive by her mentor in a mind dimension. Her body is in stasis somewhere, and her mind is somewhere else. Morwen would be none the wiser.
So we need to find her body and her mind. But we saw her.
You saw her?
Right? Was that the we saw her, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the girl you saw standing on the lawn.
But we saw her and she was in the lawn of the school.
It is possible that Morwen is reaching out subconsciously for help.
Oh. I was afraid it would have been a situation where her mind was taken out of her body and then someone put a different mind in it. That would be scary.
As possible as that is, and as scary as that would be, I think that her mentor's interest does not lie in repurposing her body, but manipulating her mind so that she becomes the next great leader of the young witches of the world.
Okay. So we should find her body and release her mind and make sure she's in a place that is not traumatic and prepared to help her with the mental rehabilitation.
These are all good answers, yes. We would like all those things. As I said, your sisters are personally connected. They love her. And you have a bit of an outside perspective.
Yep.
So I'm asking you, because I believe you will be the only one of them that will be able to first get them into other dimensions, and two, depending on the outcome, extreme measure may have to be taken. There are many times in witch history where we have had to rewrite time, mass wipe memories. I'm sure you know this.
Yeah.
You are stronger than you believe, though young. Your dedication to wanting to become a witch is inspiring. And I believe that you have what it takes to potentially make the decision, if necessary, to do what has to be done.
Typically when people say things like that, they mean killing. You don't mean killing, do you?
I do not mean killing.
Okay.
Killing is not always the answer, though other kin would tell you otherwise.
I would say that killing is often not the answer under almost all circumstances.
She smiles. I would agree with you. When you have the capability of manipulating time and space, who needs to kill someone?
Okay.
I'm telling you to use your imagination and those big old brains that I know are in that head of yours.
Sometimes I feel like I have too much imagination. I might end up with conclusions that are ultimately unforeseen and will result in unforeseen consequences.
Again, she smiles. Remind me a lot of myself. I was young when I started school. 530 years ago. I was unsure of my capabilities, and I questioned everything. I'm here to tell you, Elizabeth, that all of these things will make you a fantastic witch. And more importantly, they will assure the safety of yourself and your fellow sisters. When you find Morwen's mind and her body. Putting them back together will be the hard part. If she comes back broken, or if her mentor succeeded in manipulating her mind, her own...
Do you want me to erase the memories of the manipulation so that she won't be hurt anymore?
Yes, I will need you to erase all of her memories, including those from last year.
Oh, that's a lot.
It is a lot. And it is a burden that occasionally some of us must bear. Especially those of us that have the capability and power. There's no right way to handle this. I cannot tell you that it should be done or will be done this way. But I can tell you that myself and Aurora trust you to make the decision that may have to be made. And who knows, the 4 Hex Scouts may make the decision they have to on their own. We can only hope. I would like you to see something. She walks over to one of the walls. Again, she kind of swipes her hand as if she's just scrolling across an iPhone screen. And a mirror appears. Beautiful, kind of ornate pattern around the outside. And she looks deep into it. It is black, as black can be. And she gestures for you to join her, kind of standing in front of it, staring into it.
Elizabeth sort of walks over and looks up at it, adjusts her hat a little.
She says, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and stare into the blackness. And you watch her eyes kind of glaze over as she stares into it. And when you join her in doing so, it takes a moment. Your eyes kind of cross a little bit the way that they do, and then something begins to come into picture, into frame, almost like deep in the mirror, as if another dimension in and itself. And that same person, Morwen, small and at a distance, stands there. She does not beg for help. She doesn't really say anything, but you can see her. And once it's in clear view that it is her, Scion turns to you. I have been seeking her mind for many months. I hopped a dimension to dimension, and when I found it, I locked it in on this beacon, and she references the mirror. This is not a gateway. I cannot reach through, but it is more like a GPS. I can locate it.
What's the GPS?
Smiles. He says, it is a location signal. It is a way for us to continue to pinpoint, even if her mentor attempts to move into a new dimension or reprogram where that dimension lives.
It's like a scrying.
Correct. There is a part of me that believes... There's a part of me that believes that Morwen's memory has been written to code.
Like the cyber stuff?
Yes. Which is out of my realm of understanding, but my time seeking her led me from place to place, dimension to dimension, and it was not until one of the other witches on the council came to me and said that they believed they had found something odd, a blip on the internet, something you and I would never notice, a glitch. But it stood out to her. And when we started doing more research, we realized that it was directly connected to Morwen's identical and personal code, DNA. Your friend Percy stood up there today and talked about how code in plants and code in computers are the same. And as many witches may not agree with her, she is right. Everything has a personal DNA code. We believe that they are working with very powerful witches, this rogue group of them, and they have ripped her mind from her body and have put it into the digital realm. This means it is very dangerous, but it also potentially means if located could be easy to recover. Who knows, she could literally be on a hard drive somewhere.
But does that mean she also might get reprogrammed?
That is exactly what it means. It also means that her mind could be completely deleted as well.
But it could also be copied.
It could also be copied.
We could maybe, if we could find a way to copy it just in case, that might be helpful.
A backup copy would not be a bad plan, says every college student ever. I wish that I could give you more, but as the person that will be closest to the 4 girls who are closest to Morwen, it seems that she is reaching out. How she was able to break free of the digital realm and manifest herself in some way, I am unsure. Maybe it is her connection to them. Maybe it is Percy's personal connection. I was not there to witness the greenhouse event, so I cannot tell you if it was Percy or Morrowind who made what happened happen. But I can tell you that the rogue group is growing more powerful by the day. And we have all of our forces working to find them and stop them. We would like Morrowind to be out of that picture before we erase them.
That would be best to, yeah.
Oh.
If you want more detailed information, maybe I could use some mentalism magic to copy my memory of the events into your mind.
Oh, now that is a great idea. Then I could give them to all the rest of the witches. Yes, come here. Have a seat. And a chair just like slides up behind you. And she says, it's been a while since I've shared memories. Oh, I'm a bit rusty. She kind of shakes it off and she sits with her hands out as if to grasp yours. Physical connection will always help. Please, go ahead. I will let you begin. And she kind of closes her eyes, waiting to simply be a receptacle for your mentalism magic. So this would be your magic die plus your mentalism plus casting.
Yeah, and my wand gives me a +1.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, that's right, because you're casting with your wand.
Yep. So she takes out her this jade wand with like a little charm attached to it, and the charm has like a little crow on it. And she sort of places one hand on one of hers and waves the wand slowly around in circles above their hands. And she closes her eyes and starts replaying the memory in her mind and letting it sort of flow down her arm into hers.
Very nice. And it becomes this kind of misty smoke that swirls and almost collects itself in like a ball before it dissipates into, like actually absorbs into her skin. Let's get that roll and see how well you do in terms of giving her that memory.
13.
Wow, that's pretty good. And she gets it. It begins to like just completely absorb into her. You can tell that she's living the memory. Not just it's not like it just gets filed away. Like you have to live the memory moment, and so it takes many minutes for her to watch through it. She smirks at some points and kind of giggles as if watching all of you panic in the greenhouse is humorous. She finds that very funny, and you can feel her breath change. Matching all of you when you turn and look down the lawn to see Morwen standing there, again living the memory as you lived it. And once it is done, she takes a deep breath and comes out of it. And she looks up at you from under her eyes and she says, I'm going to simmer on this. I have a strange feeling that this was not Percy. That Morwen is aware she is being held captive and is seeking... She's seeking help. Probably on a subconscious level, and it got a little out of control, hence all of the purple flowers. Kind of, yeah, she furrows her brow. She says, do you all have technology, cell phones?
Percy does.
Yes. I wonder if Morwen's subconscious has found a way to escape outside the walls of her coded prison and is using Percy's cell phone to watch you all, to connect with you.
Could we use that to communicate with her?
Possibly.
Maybe get more information.
As if it was an idea that had never crossed Scion's mind. See, now it is well worth having brought you here today, Look at us. Solving the world's problems. She kind of scratches her chin a little bit. I have something for you. She goes over to her desk and she ruddles around, and you watch as, like, it must be some kind of pocket dimension because things just come, like, flying out of her desk, like odds and ends and books and papers and files, and as they flop to the floor, the kind of liquid ground, like, absorbs them again, as to not make a bit of mess. And she finally right, me too. And she finally finds that she says, haha, yes. And she pulls a small charm from her, this kind of like from her desk drawer. And she slides it over the table to you. And she says, I see you like charms. This one is very special. I have never had good use for it. I tend to be a lonesome worker, but I think you will find this very helpful. That charm can be activated, and when you do so, it... how do I put this lightly? It galls me. It will force me, wherever I'm at, to manifest where you are. I don't give this away lightly. I do not like to be called upon. As you can see, I literally live in my own dimension. But with the ongoing events, you may, and hopefully not, have to use it. And you see, it's kind of like it's like a metal miniature of herself, her little, like, you know, beret and like turtleneck and all the stuff, and it's kind of this pewter color. And she says, "Take care of it. I really don't want anybody else calling on me."
Okay, she takes it and sort of thinks for a few minutes. And then she pulls like a chain from around her neck and pulls out like a necklace with like a little skull on the end of it and attaches the charm next to the skull and puts it back.
Nice. She notes this and agrees that you're keeping it nice and safe. And she says, now, I have a feeling you have a class this afternoon, and I have probably kept you far too long. I will let Aurora know you are on your way back safely, but before we go, do you like to eat?
Most people do, and I haven't eaten since breakfast.
This much is good. Today is Witch Truck Wednesday, and I would like to take you. And she waves her hand. It is not Wednesday, it's Monday. She waves her hand and a portal appears. And she says, well, come on, let's hop to Wednesday, get lunch, and we'll come back.
It's always Wednesday sometime.
Exactly. And she pops through the portal. You can see that there are a bunch of food trucks like lined up somewhere here in the Witches Mall. And they serve just a variety of things, from stuff on, you know, sticks to slushies and just the works. And it smells wonderful. And she simply kind of takes your hand if you'll let her, and she pulls you through. And you guys hop into Wednesday, grab your lunch, and come back. She waves you off. Yeah.
I always had a question.
Oh, yeah.
What happens if I encounter myself from a different time while doing something like that?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, hopefully you would not be here. You would be at your studies on Wednesday, right? She kind of like leads in. But I understand.
But what if I'm on Wednesday from Saturday?
She smiles. A paradox at some point is inevitable. Let's hope it is not a bad one. My suggestion is avoid yourself at all costs. The good news is you are intelligent enough to understand the repercussions of messing with yourself and the future. Other people are not. They often like to give away things or tell themselves something. Avoid speaking to yourself. Why do you think I keep to myself and to myself only?
Okay.
She says, good question, though. Oh, well, now I am full. And I'm sure there's some paperwork that needs to be filed somewhere. And she kind of stares at her desk. A pile of papers drop from the ceiling. She's clearly been hiding them from you. I guess I must get back to bureaucracy at its finest. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will leave it up to you whether or not you share this information with your sisters. You will learn to make your own judgment calls, especially as a witch that deals in time and space. You have to choose.
Well, I'm sure Percy knowing some of it might be helpful given the connection with the cell phone. I'll have to think and take notes and make charts.
I love a good chart.
Charts are very useful.
Says, if nothing else, I will see you. Let's see. It is the fall. She said, well, I guess I'll see you this year at the Yule Cotillion. I have received my invitation already.
Hopefully not sooner.
Hopefully not before. And she says, goodbye, Elizabeth. And don't let those other girls bully you.
I don't think they could.
She says, I know. It was a joke. And she snaps her fingers, and when she does, you bloop out of her office and back to the main entry door to the kind of courtroom where the Witches' World, or the Coven of 13 met. And you were able to find your way back to Willow Mist to see what it is that you have missed while you have been gone.
Do I arrive in time for history?
Probably not. But that's okay. You know, Aurora Mist will make sure you're all filled in. So that's been our short little side adventure, little information dump, little get to know Elizabeth better session. And we're going to be doing a couple more of these. So Kika, we didn't do this at the top, but why don't you tell us who you are and where we can find you online?
I'm Kika. You can find me online, mostly on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO. You can also find me on various role-playing shows and, of course, on Witch Girl Adventures on Little Red Dot's channel, and hopefully more shows in the future because I love playing with you.
Oh, of course. I want to think, when I asked you, I remember we couldn't get schedules together the first Witch Girls we did. And I was like, well, I'm getting you in on something. So I brought you in for Capers, and I just love having you around. So I was like, well, don't fret. Kika's going to be around.
Capers, and then the Appliance Wars.
The Appliance Wars, yep. Any chance I can get.
Crazy.
Any chance I can get. Awesome. Well, gang, you know me. I'm Little Red Dot. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And this little video is as much of a thank you to the Patreon as it is just a little can't get enough of Witch Girls video, basically. Let's give you some more. So I want to thank Kiko for her extra time. And I want to thank a Patreon again for making this little witchy adventure a possibility. Until next time, we will see you Tuesday nights right over on the dot lot for more Witch Girl adventures starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, bye. We just previewed a little side episode that I had the glory of running with Kika. Since she was out, we thought it would be fun to offer that to our Patreon first, and then over to all of you before tonight's game. So if you had a chance to tune in, you got to see a little bit of the strange things that Elizabeth may have gone through. But before I hop in too deep into my business and the Dot Lot business, let's quickly go around. You guys tell us who you are and who you're playing today, and let's start with Tiffany.
Hello, I am Tiffany. You can find me online at RTS Cosplay. I also am a producer, GM, and player for the podcast North by Northquest, which Dot is on with me. And you can find that at NXN Quest. And today I am here with Percy Rosewood. She is a cybermancy meets elementalism, coder queen, all about that social media.
All about it.
All about it. And just wants to tweet and grow some plants. Entire life.
Hashtag mood.
Hashtag
like, super
big
mood. Big mood. Like, awesome. Shauna.
Hey, I'm Shauna. Flying Source on Twitter. I am a artist. I did all the art for this show.
Yeah.
And stream lunch. And I am playing Jess Hana, the protection / healing witch / werewolf, who is way into broom sports and slacking off in class, apparently.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Though I'm beginning
Always.
to think that none of you really take class seriously. Like, Dot is beginning to think that you guys don't take class very seriously. Gas.
Percy is offended.
If you got to see them last week in class, I feel like Elizabeth would have been appalled, just devastated.
I'm living out my life of being a slacker in class. That was always the person I have to be on time. We have to be stressed.
That was me too. That also super mood. I understand that. Awesome. Moving right over, we're gonna go to Catherine.
Right, my name is Catherine Barsonistas, also gluttonous_geek on Twitter. I run the geeky food blog, The Gluttonous Geek. And I play Loretta Maytree, who is a conjuration and divination witch, who's been raised in sort of a 1950s sitcom alternate reality, and now just kind of wants to figure out what the heck's been going on for the past actual reality of not her life.
Right. Nice. And last but certainly not least, Eris is not with us, but Kika is this week.
Hey, I'm Kika. You can find me around twitter.com/KikaVL. You can find me on a bunch of different streams because I'm just all over the place. And I am also soon launching a Patreon where I will be hosting a lot of baking, experimentation, and a lot of things with breads that are infused with teas, which would be at patreon.com/baking because I wasn't taken, so I took it.
That's
Wait, that
awesome.
wasn't taken?
I am so proud of you.
That's so
Nice.
amazing, and yeah, that's really cool. Yeah.
I am playing Elizabeth DeTass, the trans girl witch who's 12 and a total know-it-all prodigy who's also a total narc who does space and time magic and mentalism.
Total narc. Hey, you know what? Sometimes honesty is the best policy, and when you're
Honestly,
aware,
it's always the best policy all the time.
always.
And we love her because she's our narc.
Awesome. And gang, I'm Dot. I am running this here shindig. I'm very excited. We will be playing, for those of you that do not know, Witch Girl Adventures, which is its own tabletop RPG. Eris, like I said, cannot join us this evening. She is, I believe she's had a little bit of oral surgery. And I was just like, don't. And then she was like, I don't feel good. And I was like, well, don't. So she did it. So we're gonna, Raven will be tagging along. We have put Raven's picture up for everybody. That beautiful art by Shauna. But she will not be with us tonight. Now, we should probably take a moment and do a smidge of a recap of last week, though I don't want to give away too many things because I have this feeling that Elizabeth is gonna have, one, she may have a lot to say, and I have a feeling these girls are gonna have a lot to say to Elizabeth. So, really the most important thing, I think, after last week is we had a chance for you to kind of begin a normal routine. our prequel episodes were very quick paced. Things happened in a 4-day span, and there was action that had to be taken, and boom, there it was. Our first 2 sessions were very fast paced. We moved in, we got our classes. You guys had to go apply to be Hex Scouts, which you succeeded at. But in that journey, and right before that journey, the headmistress, Aurora Mist, told Elizabeth that she needed to take a moment to meet someone, a personal friend of hers. She didn't really tell her who, but Elizabeth figured out very quickly. And Elizabeth spent a little bit of private time with a witch, described as kind of slender, black turtleneck, black beret, kind of pale and short black hair, much like a beatnik. While Elizabeth was gone, our 4 witches had to do what witches do. You have to go to class.
Do you?
You have to just be the best witch that you can be. And so last session was a little bit about that normalcy that began to settle in their lives. Especially after last season being a bit of a shell shock. But you met a few new people. And we learned a few new things, which some of them I will tell you about and some of them I will not. But the most important thing is that you saved someone. It was Ashley outside of Aurora Mist's office because, of course, your sisters got very concerned about Elizabeth being gone for more than 1 day. Very concerned. And they had to go back knocking on Miss Aurora Mist's door. Even though they knew that Aurora Mist sent her, they just had to go knocking. Well, Aurora wasn't there. Her assistant, Ashley, was. And told them whatever they do, they were not to go to the Grove by the creek. Where was the next place that our witches ended up? Down at the Grove. Their little curiosity bits could not keep them away. And when they arrived, what they found was a Willow Mist student was being attacked by a kind of dark, shadowy, smoky figure, which later we learned was a wraith. It was actually stealing her soul. We got into a little bit of a witchy combat, and one of your other witches helped step in. Came in and basically bound it and banished this. And you were you're almost gifted something. We learned this girl is a fashion designer, and she can create fabric from moonlight, sunshine, rainbows, and there was one other thing. What was it? Shadow. And so she offered to make your vest better. Yeah. There was also a last-minute person who came bursting through the brush, who did not make it in time to save you after sounding your whistle that was supposed to bring Miss Aurora Mist, but instead brought Ashley. Now, why Ashley was there is all of your secrets to keep or to share. But I'm not going to tell why Ashley came a-running. So, let's jump right back in. So Elizabeth had this meeting. You got to have lunch with one of the 13 of the Coven, okay, which is in and itself a very high honor, some that witches will never see in their lifetime. And you were sent along your way after receiving both a charm from her and a fair bit of information, new information that had not really been given yet to you, especially not from Aurora Mist herself. And you make your way back. When you waltz back through the portal that leads you to the campus here,
I don't think
go ahead.
I don't think Elizabeth is physically capable of waltzing.
Waltzing, quote unquote, to waltz. As you come trailing back through, it delivers you back to Miss Aurora Mist's office. And because of course that is that, like, basically through her chimney, it delivers you back in her office. And she sits there with another woman, one that you've never seen before, Elizabeth. And you can, for the first time ever, you see Aurora Mist a bit kerfuffled. She seems like her feathers have been rustled a little bit by this woman. And she sits while this other woman kind of bustles about in a busybody kind of way. But not, maybe not in the way you think. And as you take all of this in, Aurora Mist still not having noticed you, and neither has this other woman who wears, much less fitted clothes. So much of it seems to be made of very natural things and fibers. Actually, some of it may be made of moss itself, you're unsure. She seems unkempt. Her hair makes natural dreadlocks at the end. Things dangle from it. She wears no makeup, and she pretty much attempts not to hide her age, which is unusual for the majority of witches. And you hear her say, Aurora, why do you need all of these things? So many things. Look at this. Can't you just let it go? Just let go. And she says, Mother, I've told you before, you can't just waltz into work like this. I have something, I have a place to uphold here, and I need all of these things. And she, like, walks over and kind of taps the palm of Rom's hand, and as she turns, she realizes that, Elizabeth, you're standing there in the room, which you weren't before.
Awkward wave.
Oh, my! She kind of, brushes, Elizabeth, you're back.
Yeah, I came from Tuesday, I think?
Oh, yes, I guess that's right. You left on Tuesday. It is, well, it's...
I left on Monday.
Oh, no, it is not Tuesday.
I left on Monday, I went to Tuesday, and then I came back.
Great. Well, it's now Friday. I'm sure your sisters will come to get you soon. Let me introduce you, Mother. As she says kind of under her breath, this is one of our new and most esteemed students, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Elizabeth, this is my mother. She's a Lilith. You know a lot about witch culture, would you say, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I have the sorcerer's background. I was brought up in witch culture.
You would know very much then what a Lillian is. She says, my mother is she's a Lillian. A Lillian is your free-spirited witch. They're your hippie witch. They kind of deny all witch culture. They organize together under the name of Lilith, as they believe, or like Lilith has kind of ordained them to elevate the world and its ignorance. So they travel the world. They don't have a home ever. They carry what they can on their backs, and most of what they do is actually heal and help mundane society. They have no interest in witch culture. They're often your protesters, and things of that nature, and they are, their interest lies in helping people, not in building a bigger, better society. There's a large portion of the witch world, of the entire supernatural world, who looks down on these witches, both because they deny everything that is witch culture, and two, because they put mundanes above everyone else. Aurora Mist seems to be one of those people that is highly embarrassed of her mother. She walks over to you, and she says, let me guess, you are a, She kind of leans, and you can smell this kind of just natural body odor that comes off of her that she does not try to hide. You're a second year, but you are much younger than you seem.
I did get a growth spurt over the summer.
She smiles and she says, I see that. I remember when Aurora went through a growth spurt. Do you remember that, Aurora? And she's like, oh my god, Mother. And she says, we really, really must get Elizabeth back to class, Mom. I will talk to you wherever the wind takes you or something, right, Mother? She says, yes, Aurora. I will see you soon. And she kind of waves her hand. A portal, of course, appears back in the fireplace, and she simply walks through. At the exiting of her mother, there is a visible weight lifted off of Aurora Mist's shoulders. She's able to go back to her normal poised posture. She can breathe a little bit better, and her facade returns. Now, Elizabeth, we should get you to class.
Yes, I think I would be much more comfortable going to class.
Yes. Me too. And she walks to the door and opens it. And when she does, out front stand your 4 dorm mates. And she says, oh, well, look, I told you they would come for you.
Oh,
Elizabeth.
you're back.
Did you guys take notes for me? I just found out that it's Friday. We left Monday. I went to Tuesday for lunch, and apparently I came back on the wrong day.
Ooh, is Elizabeth skipping school? Ooh.
We can get you caught up. Yeah,
I
definitely.
I know Percy definitely took notes.
I did that, yes.
There was time and space class, but I think you know about that. Probably teach us how.
Cool.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We've got notes. It's
We got
only
notes,
the
yeah.
first week. It's fine.
I mean, I can
First
show
week
you
is the most
class.
important week.
No, the first week's only syllabuses. Like, it's fine.
But if you don't know this, you don't get the syllabuses, you don't know what you're supposed to be studying.
Well,
But
we
we
can
have
make
the syllabuses. Syllabi. I think
Syllabi.
that's- Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in trouble.
We can take. You're sick.
No.
No, you're fine.
No.
You know what? I can show you the class when we get back to the room, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go. Wait, we have stuff to talk about in the room. Let's go to the room.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
stuff.
We have to tell you some stuff.
God, crazy.
Is class still going on right now?
You guys came after the final class of that day, of that Friday, which was your music class, if I remember correctly, and you had a chance to meet your necromancy, and very briefly, your necromancy and curses teacher also teaches you music. She also teaches you music.
cursed us.
What was her name? It was so good. She's one of my favorite. Oh yeah, Ebony LaRue. Your voodoo, basically. She's from New Orleans. Teacher. Also taught your music class, which is what you all left. In essence.
Yeah. We didn't skip class this time. What?
Well, some things you skipped. I want to think you skipped all of your morning classes on Friday. Because you guys, didn't you deal with the Wraith?
Yeah,
Yes.
we did.
Yes, we did.
Okay, we're going back to the room.
Okay, yeah.
Come.
Yeah, Aurora Mist kind of smiles and waves as if she knows you guys are up to something. Though she does not question. She does not question because she probably has to go deal with mom things.
In this music class, I'm gonna be stuck with the trombone again.
Oh, it's not that kind of music class.
No, I think.
I think
more
you're
that
good. Yeah.
Maybe she cursed us music class. Maybe you might be okay.
She literally didn't give you guys anything but percussion instruments. Tambourines, drums.
It's like a never-ending drum circle. Like, it's fine. You'll be fine.
Is it ritualistic music?
Maybe. All we know is that we're not probably cursed. Yet. Maybe. No. It's fine.
Do you
I
think
mean,
you
if
might
you
be
really want
cursed?
to get caught up, I can conjure up some drums when we get back to the room. I mean-
maybe. I don't know. It's
Or
just
would you prefer Morocco?
now.
or Timbuktu?
Now it seems like curses have been brought to the table. Has anything involving curses happened?
No.
Well,
No.
we had class.
There was offensive magic.
Yeah.
We learned time and space magic, which is trippy.
No, that's easy.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get some food in the room. Let's. I really want to tell you, but we can't do it here.
Okay, let's go to the room.
Go.
I bought tacos from Tuesday.
I brought tacos from Tuesday.
We can.
Percy like puts her arm around Elizabeth and starts to just like
Yeah, I think
power
we're
walk
pulling,
to
we're
the
pulling
room.
her like all the way back.
So when she says tacos from Tuesday, does that mean that? And just kind of trails off.
I got them on Tuesday and I brought them to now.
but you were just in Tuesday, so they're fresh.
Yes.
Awesome.
Right, and I guess we're heading to the room.
Yes,
Let's
definitely.
slam the door. Oh my god! We got the best. You got to hear this. Percy, tell her what. It's so good.
Okay, so you know Ashley, the crazy
Yeah.
Ashley chick. So, turns out she's our fairy godmother.
Yes. It's
Wait, what?
yes.
So we don't hate her anymore.
No.
But she's our fairy godmother.
Yeah.
And Percy does like jazz hands again. Like that's gonna make it better.
It would have been so much easier to prepare for the ball last Yule season. No. I'm saying
If
something
she's
offensive again, aren't I?
Yeah, I
If
don't
she-
think it works like that.
If
Oh.
she's our fairy godmother, does that mean she should be involved in team meetings?
Maybe?
How about this? You know a lot, Kika. I mean, Elizabeth knows a lot about witch culture. One
Yes.
of the very prominent and oldest guilds within the witch world is actually the Godmother's Guild. You may not know a lot about like their initiation and things, but you know that it is like actually it's the oldest organization of witches, long before we had like our political structure. But they get ridiculed a lot because the entire purpose of a godmother is to grant wishes to mundanes. But there is a training process, and oftentimes to get into the Godmother's Guild, you have to go through like an internship type thing, which you probably could piece together. That might be what Ashley is doing.
Okay. So is she gonna grant us witches?
Well,
Is that
we're
what they
already
do?
witches.
Right, we do that.
Wishes.
Is that what they do? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, fairy godmothers grant wishes, but
Yeah, they
most of
grant
the time,
witches, but mostly to mundanes.
yeah.
Yeah. Half. I mean, half.
But-
Partial.
Well-
maybe.
So you can get half wishes.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that
Well,
works with
She's an
otherkin. How's that
intern.
work?
She's an intern, so she has to give full wishes to prove herself, right? Only
I don't
full
know.
wishes.
Or she stays an intern forever.
We hold her fate in our hands.
And we should do good things because that is what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
And we should nurture them to do better.
Who
Of
wants
course.
fluffernutters? Poof.
So you guys are like, I imagine you just like sitting in a circle in your dorm room eating
In
tacos.
like the middle of the floor.
Yeah, around the giant, like the pentagram that's actually now like there in the middle of the floor.
Double pentagram.
Yeah, that's right. It's a double pentagram. You guys kind of sit central, sharing this information.
Yeah. Oh, we also are getting new Hex Scout vests
Yes.
that don't
Better
suck.
one.
So while you were gone, going to Tuesday, we accidentally maybe walked into a wraith trap and stopped it and saved this like third-year girl
Yeah. She
who is gonna make us vests now.
makes. She's into fashion. She's very pretty.
Trap.
Scary. A little
What?
scary.
What did we say?
It
that
was
we
a
should-
wraith. Everyone's okay?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
everyone's okay. Didn't know what it was at first, but I think
We
we
saved her life.
no one got their soul sucked out, so that's good.
I
Okay.
did it.
True.
Okay.
You
Good
Oh, I hope you like Moonlight.
yeah, you guys know. Did I give you her name? Did she give you her name?
Amber.
Amber.
Amber. Yeah.
Amber.
Well, she gave you her name, but the other girl, the one that actually stopped the wraith.
Yes, Lillian. She told us her name too.
Yeah. Elizabeth may not have come in contact with Lillian, but you guys have recognized Lillian. She's just part of your class, so you've seen her a lot, though you may not be.
Lillian is super cool. Cool and
Yeah, she's got
She's
this
got-
like edgy
lone
punk
wolf. She's got
vibe
lone wolf
going.
thing going on. Yeah.
She's very
Yeah.
brooding.
She looks
Yeah,
a little
it's-
like a beatnik, I guess.
No.
Yeah, it's like a whole punk vibe,
The
and I'm pretty
beatnik.
sure he reads a lot of Edgar Allan Poe.
Mm.
The beatnik, Loretta, was your teacher,
Yes.
your time and space teacher.
But does
To
Loretta
her, they
know
all
what
look like
punk is?
beatniks. I mean,
That's true.
she doesn't know what goth is. She's from a 50s, 60s sitcom. There's
punk-
no
yeah,
goth.
yeah, the
That's
punk
just
stuff is
all
like-
beatniks.
True.
It's perfect. Yeah. She's really cool. And she stopped a wraith. Well, we helped stop a wraith.
You guys.
But mostly she did it. But I put it in a jar.
What did you guys do with the jar?
Lillian took it, I think?
Oh, that's right. Lillian took it.
Yeah, Lillian took it.
Okay.
You guys let the necromancer leave with the wraith.
Listen, we don't know what we're doing, Chelsea.
No. We were skipping class and we were off the campus. So like
We were looking for our sister.
Yes, we were looking.
That's true.
For our sister. It was a noble skipping.
Yes.
Okay,
in
first
trouble.
off, I need you guys to give me notes from class so I can read them.
Oh,
Okay.
I can do
Second
much
off,
better.
There's some notes on Jess's thing, but there's a lot of doodles on there.
Loretta is going to kind of point at the old school like tube TV, like a bunny ears TV in the room, and cast See Near Past. I believe that's the correct spell anyway. To basically replay whichever class she wants to see.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah.
Oh, I can
Well,
use this.
actually, no, I guess it's either way, it's still the same casting role. So
Okay.
While Loretta's doing that, Percy definitely turned to like dig through her bag and is just like pulling out like multiple notebooks.
Yeah, one per class. Go ahead, Loretta. So
It
many
looks-
thank yous.
it looks like my roll 20 kicked me out for some reason.
No, that's okay. Take your time. Thank you for all of the whatever just came through. I'm not sure why.
You
that
got a
was.
subscriber.
Thanks, subscribers.
Yeah.
For some reason, my my browser's playing on loop. Good times. Thanks, Jim Song. 4 months. Goodness.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 15. Did that come through my roll 20? Oh, there it goes. Did now. Alright, so 15. That's pretty good. That's a decent roll. I mean, you're able to cast and make that thing happen. And play. Yeah. I mean, it's not like HD quality, right? But like, you know, it's like some lines jag through it, like the TV lines, because it's coming from you. You know everything to look like a TV. But you're able to hear it, see it. Whatever you want to offer her in terms of the recap of class.
Elizabeth lays down on the floor, like head and elbows, and watches the TV, and she says, "Percy, you know cyber magic stuff, right?"
Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever tried to take the code of someone's existence and copy it?
Not a real person. I've done it like with like digital code, but we can try.
Okay, well, I was told some stuff in my meeting, and it was a lot.
Ooh.
Ooh.
A lot of what?
What kind of stuff?
It was a lot.
No, come on. Come on.
I don't mean it was a lot of different things. It was like a few bullet point things, but it was a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So what kind of who are we making? What's it? What
So your friend
Yeah.
who is missing.
Yes.
I'm not super good with the cyber stuff, so some of this kind of went over. Like I probably don't remember it precisely, but your friend is her essence, basically, her mind and everything is possibly in another dimension, and there's some it's a lot. I'm still processing.
What?
So okay. So Morwen's essence is like somewhere here, and we could maybe harness that to connect with her.
Maybe could Elizabeth just like rote repeat what she was told?
Yes. So you're able to basically tell all of you there are a few things. There is a deep investigation right now. The belief is that Morwen is actually not. That Morwen is being trapped, that her body and mind have been separated. We don't know where her body is, and we don't know where her mind is. There is thought, there are two theories, that her mind is being kept in another dimension, for sure. But there is a theory, a second one, that it's actually been digitized.
Okay,
And
that her mind has been digitized.
That her mind, her like herself, her person, and everything is being kept in a digital realm.
Oh.
That's in a digital realm. I'll give you that much. She made some additional comments and talked a little bit about the probability of like how or why Morwen like broke through. There's a possibility that if her body is being used or possessed, that it may be elsewhere, but that her mind, her subconscious, is reaching out. And because your cell phone is a wand, it is potentially a conduit of some kind, and it may be why she appeared to all of you.
Ooh, so...
Oh no, are we gonna teleport into the digital world at some point?
Yeah, maybe.
Are we gonna go full Digimon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe. Percy's not strong enough yet. Okay. Oh. So there's a spell I know that lets you like find Wi-Fi, essentially. But what if we adjust from searching for Wi-Fi to searching for like Morwen's essence, essentially? So like instead of Wi-Fi, it's her essence. I don't know if it'll work. I'm still like learning, but I'm totally game to try.
But I mean, if she's in trouble, we need to find. She wants to communicate with us.
Yeah.
Do you think we could link that up with this TV and use some extra divination magic in there to amp up the?
I have my phone here. Do you think you could use this?
Terms?
Well, I don't know anything about
Look up all of your phones.
other than you type on it and but we can try. Just point me.
Basically, we just maybe my idea would be like a divination receiver sort of thing.
All right.
Okay.
So
well, yeah.
maybe
Let's see if I can like find her signal, and then maybe if we can tap into it, Loretta, you can see what you can figure out from that. So maybe we're working on divination.
You can use the magic box to communicate with her.
We can totally use the magic box.
Is it a Ouija board?
well,
Yeah. Percy pulls up like a Ouija board app.
Oh no.
It's basically like a Ouija board that you guys are creating. Though she's not dead, so you're not talking with the dead. You're just trying to. Okay.
So Percy's going to pull up a Ouija board app on her phone and use that idea, like, but having it search for like her Wi-Fi like essence.
So
Wi-Fi is a spell. It's a level 1 cybermancy.
okay. And would you read it or drop it in the chat for me, the Zoom chat, or the Roll20 chat, whichever you
Oh my god.
So I'm kind of like.
That's okay. If you're in the
Adjusting.
Cybermancy book, right?
I'm in the cybermancy book. Yes.
Do we move the cell phone? Do we move the smartphone on the ground like a Ouija, like a little?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we put it flat on the ground, and there's a little like icon for the like, board piece, and we're gonna move that around on the screen.
well,
But it's just like 2 fingers on the screen, and all your faces are like over Percy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That is workable. So you can basically get onto the internet this way, which taps you into the web. And
double pentagram also augment the
Yep.
spell?
It will yes, it will make it stronger. Specifically because you're so high tech and all that jazz. I want to make sure I give this to you because there are there are two webs, basically. There's the mundane World Wide Web, and then there's the witch's web.
We're going through the witches one.
Okay, you guys are going to go into the witch's web. Okay. So you are searching only .wch sites, or what they're called, .witch sites. Okay.
Since she's been trapped by a witch, it would make sense to Percy that she would be within the witches sphere.
Yeah, okay. This is gonna be fun. This will be interesting. Okay, so let's just go ahead and roll that up. So that would be your magic die plus casting plus cybermancy, or whatever you took for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
The World Witch Web.
13.
13's pretty good. You guys watch as actually, Percy, you tell me what it looks like as you connect to the internet, because that's all you've started. This is going to be a multi-step process.
Yeah. So like I said, Percy pulls out this like Ouija board app because she figures, since the idea is to like search for like an essence, it makes sense to utilize something that searches for like ghost essences, just in, like the operation. And as she has her two little fingers on the icon for like the part you move around a Ouija board, and she starts like typing in like the www dot and just trying to get to like witch Google.
Yeah, so you kind of it's basically hacking. Yeah, it's like the dark net but for witches. It's there, and it's not quite as dark as the dark net, but and it takes you a second. You guys watch as magic actually flows from Percy into the phone, because it is her wand as well. And I'm sure that it is not slow typing. You're probably like...
Yeah, it's like really fast to like move around, because she's still pretending it's a Ouija board.
Right. I imagine even at one point you probably project the screen upward, like you can even have it, you can even touch screen in the air. It probably blows Loretta's mind.
So as soon as she kind of connects in and is like connected there, it starts to kind of come up, and you see it in front of her in kind of like that black and green of like original computers. Yeah. Which is just an aesthetic choice. But it starts to shape there. Okay. And you guys can see it.
So the spell was successful in terms of hacking in or getting into the Witch's World Web.
Yes.
Or .witch sites. And sure enough, from the phone screen, almost in this kind of like cone shape, comes this screen. And it's raining code and text. Written not necessarily always in numbers and letters. Sometimes you get symbols and things because it is the witch's net. Yeah. And so it kind of appears before you. You're in. Now what are you going to do?
Uh-oh.
So from there, Percy is going to... she's going to use the spell WYSIWYG. So it's what you see is what you get. And basically you can just create like programs or images or put together what you want. And she's going to put together how she sees Morwen. And then essentially reverse image search.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's like a reverse image search, but with digital code. Okay, so let's
start, so she like basically is going to create a program that encapsulates how she views Morwen, like the essence of Morwen and who she is, and then she's going to reverse search her.
I dig that. Okay, so let's start with you writing this code. This is intense. Not at all what I expected today would be like. Dang. Okay. Well, basically because you guys are inside the double pentagram, I've dropped the difficulty of all of this. Is what it is. So instead of you having to add every time, I'm just dropping the difficulty down. So a 15 is very successful.
So I feel like you see in front of you this like it sort of looks like that code, and it starts to kind of coalesce into an image, like an outline of a person. And if you could read the code, it would like have all of what Percy sees in Morwen, but it starts to create this image of a girl.
Yeah, and you do it successfully. It creates this image, and it begins to, you kind of hit the enter button, if you would, and it sends this code out, looking to actually hit a replica of itself and ping back to you of where it exists. A 15 is really good. 15 is really good, yes. But I'm interested in... Alright.
So I would say it is kind of tricky, right? Because it's how Percy
sees her.
Right, because Percy didn't like digitize Morwen before she left, right?
Right, she doesn't have her like mental essence captured somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you this. So the code goes out. You guys wait and you 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 wait. And you think that it's probably not going to come back. Your tacos are gone. The email basically went out. And you sit and you sit and you sit. And finally you hear that bing. As if you got something in your inbox.
Oh.
Is that it? Is that it? Is that it?
I don't know.
Oh,
Percy like
open it.
like kind of frantically like clicks
You
it
like
open.
click open and then you hear bing, 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 bing. Your inbox begins to fill with strange things that have come back to you. Odds and ends. I'm gonna have you roll a luck die as to whether or not you opened what you opened. So just roll.
Okay.
We'll say 1 is good luck, 2 is bad luck. Just roll a 1d2, I guess.
Well, I put it in. Okay.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, a 2. Okay. What did I say? Good luck, bad luck?
In all honesty, I don't remember.
Wait, either. I'm pretty sure I said 2 was bad luck. Okay, I usually go 2's bad luck. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
So you open this up. It kind of, again, appears in front of you. The phone goes off a few more times as more things kind of like junk or spam mail have returned. And as this thing pops up, the green lettering begins to transition from the top down as it turns this red color. And it begins to kind of like seep downwards.
Oh no. No.
Bad. What's up?
Red's not good. And Percy's gonna she's gonna just try to frantically close or try to get whatever this is to stop.
Okay. That is gonna be. Well, you can read the code. I'll give you that much. You at least can read part of the code. I mean, you coded this thing out and it's come back.
Right.
It seems that what you have here is some kind of bug.
No.
Oh no, this looks like a virus.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Basically, yeah, it's a virus.
And she's going to go into frantic stop it, hacker mode.
Frantic stop it, hacker mode. Yeah, go ahead. You can roll this. If you have a spell, you can. If not, you can just roll me a basic mind and technology.
Okay. Let me see. Do I have?
Yeah, go ahead, Elizabeth.
Can I cast Genius on her to increase her
You
mind
sure
die
can.
by
Wait,
2?
I'm sure you guys were like, whoa, no!
Yeah.
And Elizabeth's like, I don't know how to deal with this, but I think you do. I'm gonna help.
Yeah, so
Boom.
I don't know what's going on.
so you'll get a +2.
+2. Okay.
Well, it
then-
increases the mind die by 2. I think.
Oh, it increases the mind die by 2. That's
Yeah.
different.
Okay. I was thinking of trying to use the spell Crash.
Okay, through program, force system overload shutdown, which can damage a computer system and force it to shut down. Okay.
So I know it's her wand, and she doesn't want to damage it, obviously, but she is a little frantic from this.
Okay.
So I don't think she's necessarily thinking clearly.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to let you do. With the mind die, how do I want to do this? Here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you roll me just a flat mind die, but it's going to go up by 2. So what's your mind die now?
It's a D8.
It's a D8, so it will go up to a D12.
Okay.
Ooh.
So let's just see what your flat D12 is. No!
No! Oh no!
+1 from Raven.
Plus
Oh,
1
no.
from Raven, so it's a 2.
Okay, so it's a 2.
That's such the worst. It's okay. It's all right. So you are frantic. You can feel this spell boost you up a little bit as your mind tries to sort through oh my god, my wand, what do I do? If I shut this down, I could da. So instead of giving you an advantage, you're just gonna flat roll the spell.
Okay.
So the casting die plus the spell, or casting spell, and your magic die.
Okay.
Ooh.
14.
Okay, that's
+1.
pretty good.
+1.
+1, that's right. Because Raven is here, though she is quiet today. Thank you, Raven, for reminding us. So 15. 15. Okay, out of 15, you are able to shut your phone down. What you basically do is instead of just crashing the whole thing, you are able to go in, but you have to wipe the entirety of the hard drive. Which means anything that you have on there is gone now.
Percy was an obsessive data backup.
Great.
So
Good
she has
for
it
you.
backed up.
Yeah, so
So
you were
she
able
will
to
wipe it.
wipe it, which means that the inbox and everything that it was connecting with is gone, and the things that pinged back. You hit something. You're sure of it. And potentially, if you had enough time to dig through all the many things coming back, you may have gotten a signal, or like what you were looking for. It just so happened that the first thing that you opened was a bad thing.
Maybe we can try on my phone.
Okay.
And she holds up a BlackBerry because that's about as up to date as she could probably figure out. Like, oh, this one's nice. Maybe I can try Scry with it. I mean, if you connect it to the Wi-Fi, I don't think I figured out how to do that yet.
Okay. Well, just take a second.
Okay.
Just shows you your Instagram. It's like it looks okay. It looks like nothing's happened to it. So good, good.
Okay. All right. So, I think we're on to something. A lot came back, but a lot was potentially terrible. So I don't know if there might have been something useful in there, but it did start to eat up my computer.
It might have also been that you found what you were looking for, and they sent back something like it's a ward or a way to keep you from getting into what you wanted. Is also a possibility.
Yeah. So, either we didn't find what we were looking for, and someone just used my code to come back and attack us, or maybe we did, and then they used my code to come back and attack us. It's hard to say. I think we need someone stronger.
I know divination magic. I could probably scry through the phone. I mean, I can only do it at about 4 miles, but maybe if you boosted what I was doing through the Wi-Fi.
Oh. Well, yeah. Yeah. Let's try it.
Would protection magic work digitally also?
Possibly, it would be much harder. The thing is it wasn't about reaching it. You reached what you Percy.
We reached it.
You
It's
reached
what it
it.
came back.
It's that there was something protecting you from getting to what you wanted, and what it sent back was a virus.
Right. It's like we hit where we wanted to go. It's that opens that connection back. So either it hit something and it came back at us, or they sent it.
So you'd either have to fight the viruses off or figure out a way around them. But as you guys kind of contemplate this and you're sitting here like, oh my god, can we do it this way? You hear something, Percy. You know this sound. It is that sound of a blank cursor on a screen. And it pops up on your phone, the one that should have no... And one by one, letters kind of click, 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 click onto the screen. And by the time it's done, the sentence in these green letters on your phone screen simply read... I'm sorry, red letters on your phone screen simply read... We know where you are. Leave us alone. And it is, I guess it's signed or finished off by some kind of online handle, you could say. That's HB. HB.
We know where you are. Leave us alone.
Maybe she doesn't want to be found?
But it's signed HB. That's not Morwen's name.
Oh. Maybe it's...
But she did say us.
So we found her. Now we just have to get through to her.
But who is HB?
Or maybe Morwen, maybe?
Well, if they already know where we are, then that means we can go ahead and prod at their information a lot more aggressively because we don't need to worry about being subtle.
But that's not super scary because we're in school where we're supposed to be. They know where we are anyways, right?
I think we might need someone stronger in cybermancy to work with me, because if we put out the same thing again without taking into account their like wards or their like firewall, it's just gonna potentially break.
Okay, is this a secret thing or a secret thing that no teachers should know about?
Maybe we could tell the cybermancy teacher that we're doing it as an extracurricular project because to make up for me missing class.
We're trying to earn a badge?
That too. I mean, these are also things that are true.
They're another huge nerd in school.
I mean, I don't really understand any of this, so I'm not earning a cybermancy badge.
I'm not. You know, I'm all about trying to get around telling people stuff, but I'm not positive of a way we can show this problem without telling the teacher what we're trying to hack.
They're gonna know exactly what it is if they're more cybermancy proclaimed. So
well, maybe we can learn more about viruses and healing them. I mean, do we put do you give the? I don't know if you can give a phone chicken soup, but
no,
you
don't do that. It's bad for the computer.
Or would you give them? Goodness, what is it?
So it's like a computer band-aid.
Oh.
But
well,
the band-aid.
I mean,
the
first
band-aid's
part
not
of our program, right?
Like physical. Yeah.
Percy, you would know who your cybermancy teacher is. That's Susan Croft.
Yeah.
And you would know that she has a fair share of specialty books around cybermancy and things like that in her room. You guys also have a lot of resources available to you. There's a computer lab, there's a library, there's also an archive and a trophy room that Loretta has been told about that you've not visited yet. And you could potentially gain access to her. She's pretty nice teacher. Like, she's not going to deny you access to learning materials.
So, I think we should take this one step at a time. Let's start by doing a little research on this type of virus and stuff. I can handle that.
Research, let's go.
And then maybe we also try to research around Akonida and see if we can find info about people that like followed her, tried to raise her, and see if we can find this HB.
On it. I can do that.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Elizabeth and I will handle cybermancy research, and Loretta, Jess, and Raven, you guys handle the people research.
Cool. I love it. So are you guys, Percy and Elizabeth, you guys want to go to her classroom, the cybermancy classroom?
Yeah.
Is that
gonna-
okay?
Yeah, we're gonna go get like some books to read about like hacking and viruses.
Cool.
And
those will definitely not be in your witch library. You'd have to get those from her specifically. So you guys will go ahead to see her. It is afternoon now. You guys have finished out your Thursday because music was your last class before you picked Elizabeth up. As for Loretta and Jess, you guys have two options. You can go to like the computer lab, which is just down the hall. There's also the library and, like I said, the archives. So you guys kind of have to decide where you want to go. With
lab?
obviously Raven in tow.
Computer lab?
I don't. We can try. You just see her kind of like.
Okay, so you guys set out of the room. It is now the evening, which means most of the girls have already long left their uniforms behind, as this is considered free time. We'll start with Elizabeth and Percy.
can I have to duck out for 2 seconds?
Oh yeah, perfect. Now's it. Okay, great.
Can we switch that?
Yeah, we'll switch that around. So we'll actually
I'll
start
be
with
right back.
Loretta and Jess. So you guys split off from the other two and head down towards kind of the you have to go back to the main building, but it's down to the far end of the the campus of the site. Perfect. So computer lab. It's a relatively average computer lab. Desk kind of sit back to back to back, computers stacked on top of them. There are a few girls in here kind of clicking and clacking away, but none of them seem to be using magic. This is like a legitimate, like, study place, like, where people come to type up their notes or write a paper, or print something. Nothing too out of the ordinary in this room, I guess you could say. So who's gonna be on the computer?
I think Jess might be on the computer.
Okay, Jess, you sit down. I'm sure Loretta pulls up a chair, and you guys sit. I'm gonna say it's probably sharing a computer. All right. What is it that you're actually searching for, and then I'll have you do a roll.
Looking through Econida.
Okay.
Jess is also going to kind of like peruse various like otherkin stuff, just because I think there's certain elements within otherkin.
Yeah. Okay. So, you hit a few websites that you feel like you may be able to find what you're looking for. There, of course, is, like, your fair share of, like, dating sites and whatnot that you could always go to. But the one that you go to first...
cute.
Yeah, there's actually a site in here, I love this. A place to get dates with immortals, nightlings, and mundanes in the know, called lovepotion9.wch.which. I love that.
Oh, I like her hair.
Hey. Oh.
Scroll. You're like, oh wait, we gotta get back on topic. So you go to the WWC's website. The Witches World Council they're basically your Google search engine for witches.
Mm-hmm.
Do you search the word Aconida?
Probably.
Well, I think I know how this works. Okay, Google. What?
The computer does not respond.
Alexa? Siri?
Nope.
So, I think what Jess is gonna do, she's gonna just search for maybe slang terms for like Econida that maybe like other can use, maybe.
Okay.
Because I think they have a more positive, I think, view of Econida than which.
That's a possibility. Actually, Jess, you're right. There is one particular group of otherkin that have a soft spot for Aconida. The vampires, as they are said to be her children, that she brought them into existence. So you do a little searching on the Witches World Council. Let's get kind of roll do I want from here? Probably, let's definitely get, I know it's going to be a mind roll. Actually, yeah, it's going to be a mind roll. You can add some kind of technology or computer skill to this if you have it. Yes.
Okay, that's
Computers will work.
It's
It's not like a very terribly difficult roll, but we'll see how.
Can I use some? Let me see. I have cybermancy as well, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got cybermancy, go ahead and give add cybermancy your cybermancy score to that. And Raven's with you, so add a +1.
Yeah, I'm just having it like kind of automate some searches and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
for sure.
What? Yeah. D6 plus 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
Here we go. We got this. You got this.
+4, because Raven's near me. I'm gonna need everything.
Did it roll? Oh. Okay. Hey-o. Okay.
Oh. That's
Okay.
pretty good.
Okay. That's
good.
not too bad. It does take you a second. Like, you have to, like, you do have that hang up of like, wait a second, I can't just search Aconida. Here's what you find. The Witches World Council keeps a tight lock on the kinds of open information and history that they allow people to go through in the search engine, right? It's like the difference between Google and the darknet. But you do very quickly find some things of interest. maybe it's because you failed history last semester, but you find some information that maybe didn't stick with you very well, which is that Akanida, we know, was one of the first witch's children, the last of them born. The vampires speak of her in a different tune, especially of the times where they ruled underneath her, where she was allowed to walk and bring darkness to this world. Most importantly, what you find is a very small passage, like a footnote in an essay, that pings in your search between, like, vampires. You don't use Akanida, you use, like, Lastborn Witch or Dark Witch or something like that to kind of find what you're looking for. And it pings a footnote in an essay that is written by a vampire many, many, many centuries ago. But it talks about the relationship. Oh, thank you, Variant Rolls, for that, host. It talks about the relationship between the vampires and a group called the Highbenders.
Highbenders.
And that's a word that catches your attention. When you search the word Highbenders, you find significantly more information. Everything from Witches World Council and Magistrate Police reports. They haven't appeared recently in terms of, like, history. Much of this is kind of old, but what you kind of find is that the Highbenders are what the general mundane populace thinks of when you talk about witches. They enjoy making the mundane existence problematic, troublesome, right? They like making them miserable. More importantly, Highbenders are, it is whispered, kind of like the Illuminati, that they are a society of witches that practice in private, who see themselves as kind of the keeper and etiquettes of the high witch, of the perfect concept of the witch in this society.
HB.
They are very powerful, obviously snobbish, and most of the time, just as the Illuminati, they kind of are made up of the higher bred families that are going to, you know, fund it, support it. The reason you haven't heard a lot of information, or you don't find a lot of new records on them, is because they are extremely secretive. At least that's the rumor.
And they're mostly they mostly stay within the witch world, right?
They do not live in mundane world.
Okay.
More importantly, they pretty much are exclusive to only allowing sorcerers in.
Oh. Okay.
Or like having a higher magical ability. They don't let just anybody in.
Oh, we should copy this down.
I think we might have our HB.
We might. Yes, this is good.
You did say us, so it could be more than one.
Yeah.
It's not really a name, so.
Might be a group name.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. It's at least something. All right, I think we have what we came here for. First of all, let's delete the browser history on this so no one.
Yeah, you kind of like click, go to delete the history, the web browsing history. And as you guys, I'm guessing, leave, unless there's anything else you want to do here in the computer lab specifically. But you do have potentially enough information just based on these kind of heresy concepts that the Highbenders, there has never been proof that they exist, by the way. But the kind of rumor-based write-ups and articles and media that you found, you potentially could go look through additional archives and things to see if you can find something. If you want to come off the web.
Go to the archive.
Yeah, I'll send the information to Percy as well. I'll just send like chat message with the link.
Yeah,
we're gonna go to the archive.
Cool. Yeah, and you kind of keep her and Elizabeth abreast of where the three of you head. So you guys come right out of the computer lab and hang a left down a narrow hallway. The archives are going to be past the library. So you walk out of the library, or walk right past the library to a A daunting set of double wooden doors. I don't know that you guys have ever visited the archive, but it is clearly labeled. When you guys creak this set of heavy wooden doors open, it doesn't say no trespassing or do not enter. It just doesn't seem to be a very frequented area. Lo and behold, who sits behind the desk? But Ashley. There's a small desk here. She looks up and goes, "What are you doing here?"
Oh, we're doing some research.
You should go to the library for that.
Oh, no, this is...
Excuse me, Ashley. I know so very little about my mother that I couldn't really find anything in the library about her, and I figured that she would be more information, especially when she went to school here, would be here in the archive.
Actually kind of looks around. So what you see behind her, she basically creates a mini barrier between her and the rest of what is clearly a giant space. You don't know where this room was because it does not jut out of the, exterior of the building. There's no place to house this here. It's definitely bigger on the inside. You stand inside of a room filled with wooden cabinets, significantly over your head that have, small drawers stacked. The way that they file, maybe maps or large pieces of parchment in a library. And these go on for as far as the eye can see. And actually, your eyes taper to that point as you look down all of these rows of the archives. And Ashley kind of looks around in the empty space, and she's like, I don't know. Okay, tell me what you're looking for.
Well, I figured that we could just kind of try to find it ourselves.
I mean, technically I'm not supposed to just, go through the archives. The only place that's open for, you to search is that room. And she kind of points to her right, and your eye actually trails and finds a small door. Above it, it says the trophy room.
Oh.
And she says, so you can walk through that, but, I have to help you find anything in the archives because some of this stuff is, ancient, and sometimes I have to get the white gloves out, and you can't just touch things.
Oh, touch.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, Loretta, should we just tell her? I mean, she's a fairy godmother. I mean, Morwen is one of us, so is she the fairy godmother by extension, I guess? Because I don't think we're gonna get past her.
I think you might be right. Huh. So...
She just kind of stares at you blankly.
Part of our research is that, as you know, my mother was banished, and, part of it was because she supported the mundanes knowing about, everything. And so we were wondering about what Morwen may have gotten into. That perhaps it was witches that were trying to expose the mundane. Trying to see if there's
yeah. She might be in trouble. We did have that. Percy did see her. We all saw her. She might be in trouble. She's one of our sisters, so is she also one of your charges?
No. She kind of walks over and closes the big wooden doors behind you as if, dear God, do not let this conversation seep out into the hallway. She clicks it close and she turns around with her back and hand still against the door as if nobody's coming in here while we're having this conversation. And she says, no, Morwen is not part of my internship to be your fairy godmother. She's like, as for all the things that you're saying, you could get a lot of trouble for looking for that stuff.
But it's just information. I mean, we're not going to expose it to the world or anything.
Yes, but haven't you heard that knowledge is power?
Every day.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. Why don't the two of you make it not look like you're here seeking important information by going over there? And she references the trophy room. And she says, just go stand there, and I'll see what I can't dig up. But you're gonna need to be more specific than... Because Morwen is not in our archive.
Yeah.
The hive benders have anything sound familiar at all?
Just go to the trophy room. I'll be right there. This never happened.
No, we're never here.
Okay,
Of course, why would I be here? I don't like books, so there we go.
go. And she kind of gestures for you to head into the trophy room as she pitters off down one of the aisles as if trying to help you guys out, searching for whatever it is that you're looking, or the information that you're looking for.
So while they're in the trophy room, Loretta is going to cast No Answer
Cool.
on herself.
I love it. Let's roll. Tell me what the spell is, and then we can get it rolled up.
Okay. The spell is, well, it's not No Answer, it's Right Answer. The witch casts the spell on herself or another to give her connection to the cosmic consciousness. The spell gives the target a +1 in the skill roll to answer a question asked of her for the spell's duration. Witches have for centuries used the spell to cheat on tests.
Okay. So the real question is, I love that. Who are you casting it on?
Oh. I'm gonna cast it on myself.
Okay.
And then so first I'm gonna do that, see if it takes.
Okay, so let's get your magic die plus your casting
Let's do it.
addition, and then whatever kind of magic bonus you get, and the +1 from our Jinxie Raven who's hanging out.
Okay, so that would be +9 on a D8.
One day I'm gonna write the macro for this game. Holy crap-olies. Okay, Will.
All right. So, Jess, I need you to ask me a question. That question is, where am I going to find the information? Is there information in this room, and where is it, that pertains to what we're searching? If you can form that into one question for me, that would be absolutely wonderful.
Oh, you're muted.
Is there any information in this room that would be relevant to our search for information on the highbenders?
When she asked this, Loretta, to you, your mind almost goes kind of blank, as if your body takes control. It's literally, like, leading you towards it. And you take the trophy room in for the first time, the both of you, as you kind of mindlessly wander, kind of this radar, this boop, 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 trying to find it in this room. It is a trophy room, like literal trophies in some cases. There are lots and lots of pictures on the wall. And there seem to be, a few other medals and things from many years of Willow Mist having existed. As your body carries you through this thing, through this space, Loretta, you come to an area of framed images on the wall. And there's one in particular. It calls to you. It's like it sings out. There's this aura, this presence about it that seems to connect. You don't know why. You know that is it, but that is it. There's something about that image. And what do?
I'm going to run over there and pull out my BlackBerry and try to figure out how to take a picture with it.
Yeah, I think, just this button, this one right here.
right.
There we go. Yep.
Oh. Oh.
Zoom. There we go.
You
Yes.
take a picture of it, and after the picture's taken, as most always, once the phone is down, the technology is left to you, you can take, and the spell has subsided, this like driving force, you can really take the photo in. In this photo are a group of witches, 7 or 8 strong, and a few of them you recognize. One of them is Aurora Mist. One of them is your mother. The rest of them, the other 5 witches, aren't quite as,
Distinctive?
Yeah, distinctive, I guess is the right word. Are not as distinctive. But there are a set of twins in this photo. and they both have long jet black hair. They seem familiar, but you can't figure out why.
Ooh. Can we put this? Can we? I have cybermancy. Can I do like a reverse image search for that? See what they are.
Go ahead and let's roll up that cybermancy and see if you can find more information on their faces, like back search their faces.
Okay, so which attribute would that be?
So it would be, if you're going to roll it as cybermancy, I will let you do it with your magic die. It's not a specific spell, but it is still kind of cybermancy magic.
Okay.
So I'll let you do it with your magic die,
Please.
cybermancy, and addition. And you're not casting, so you can't really use cast, but you can add the +1 from Raven.
Okay.
Being in the room.
That's far. Okay.
Loretta is just watching entranced because she still hasn't figured out reverse image search yet.
Yeah, I'm sure that is a super foreign concept to you.
Yeah.
I mean, she's learned how to type, kind of.
Yeah.
So okay, and 11. The thing is like you're tossing it back through a thing, and it runs and it runs and it runs. It's kind of a blurry image because it's an image of an image, a printed image, and more importantly, they're a little young. 2 images pop up. One of them is seems to ping a profile on a website, a WCH website, that talks about professors. It's like a rating, like, how good is my professor? Leave comments, kind of a thing.
Rate my professor.
Yeah, it's like basically rate my witchy professor. And it is Hagatha that pings. You realize that Hagatha is one of the twins.
Which one's Agatha again?
Hagatha is your time and space teacher.
Oh.
The turtlenecked, short hair beatnik.
You just see, like, I guess, it's like, oh my god, and just, like, you see, like, just type in, just send the results to, Percy. It's like, Hagatha, exclamation marks.
So,
Twins,
like, you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god, oh my god. The other face that pings, the other kind of website or online thing that comes up is actually a post off the Witches World Council.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wanted sign, a wanted post for a witch. Did Raven ever show you her mentor? Or tell you about her mentor?
No.
I don't think so.
I-
But I think the mentor
Question.
showed up, at least the Yule Cotillion.
Oh, that's right, she was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's Raven's mentor.
Oh.
The camera panned. Oh, go ahead.
No, that was just me making a noise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys kind of stare at this, having all of this dumped on you. That there is this single image that includes Loretta's mother, Aurora Mist, Hagatha, her sister, who you don't know who that is. Elizabeth does. And, Raven's mentor, basically the witch in charge of all of this. And somehow, your question about there being information about highbenders in this room, this is where it led you. It led you to this image. The camera basically pulls out, slides down the hallway to Percy and Elizabeth, who have to walk to the entire opposite end of this boarding school, to the classroom spaces. The two of you finally make it. It is about 5 o'clock, meaning that it's kind of an off time to be visiting a teacher in their classroom. But you guys have arrived. The door to her classroom is closed. This, of course, being, I want to make sure I get her name right, Susan Croft.
Percy's going to walk up and knock on the classroom, and see if like she says anything before she like opens the door.
You rap. Susan Croft. It takes a second. And actually, somebody opens the door. It is Susan. And she says, Percy, it's a little late, isn't it?
Yes, but me and Elizabeth here had some questions, cybermancy questions, that we thought you might have some books or something that could help us figure out.
Elizabeth is just feeding her crow a taco.
I see.
Yes, so we were talking and theorizing about if we could kind of search the internet for, say, someone's like signature or kind of what marks them. And in our conversation, we thought that perhaps you could build some kind of virus or firewall that could protect you digitally from such a search. And we're wanting to do some research into that type of virus or bug or firewall or something.
Also, I was curious if theoretically magic viruses and things could be dispelled with spell breaking.
The two of you are asking a lot of very specific questions. Not that I am unable to answer them, and she swings the door open to invite the both of you in. And you guys see the cybermancy classroom, which we have not got to see, at least on screen yet. Each desk is stationed with what looks to be one of those, like, chalkboards. But they're actually a touch screen, some kind of touchscreen piece of technology, kind of hidden behind the guys. Irony in its own right, I guess, as she finds it humorous. And behind her is a giant screen where clearly she projects whatever she's working on. Oh my goodness, thank you for that raid. And more importantly, on her desk, levitate, kind of are these floating screens, very similar to the way Percy's kind of projected outwards. There's a whole bunch of them. She's clearly been working on things, and she's just been working. I mean, she's just a teacher. And she kind of invites you in, and of course, on the far wall is a series of bookshelves, about 2 or 3, that seem to be full of things that aren't just witch books. These seem to be some mundane books that talk about coding, and Percy would know that she's probably scoured these shelves many a time. So she comes in and takes her seat, and she says, you both ask for different things, though I'm interested, Percy. You're not usually the kind to be interested in such things, viruses and whatnot.
No, not normally, but we started talking and kind of the idea came up, and you know, a big part of being on the internet and doing things is also protecting what you're doing and staying virtually safe.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
it kind of naturally came up.
Thing to keep you safe.
We're Hex Scouts, and we need to do projects to earn badges, and we want to be safe while doing them.
Oh, well, that changes everything. And she says, okay, well, have a seat. Let's see what I can't find. She kind of goes over to her shelf and she pulls a couple hard copy books off of it for you, and she places those on your desk. And she says, it doesn't matter whether or not you can write a virus, because a virus is simply another piece of code that does a specific thing. So when we talk about viruses, really what we're talking about is the specific code that makes it do what it does, which is populate itself over and over, just like a virus, inside of another piece of code. So you'll want this one, this one, and this one, and you get a stack those for Percy.
Perfect, yes, thank you.
Now, I warn you that writing a digital cybermancy code, a real virus, can be difficult and dangerous. Yes, it can protect something, but it can also corrupt.
Right, yeah.
Percy, you seem confused.
Well, so if you're writing a piece of code, virus, that's point is to replicate within another piece of code, the potential nature could be corruptive in its own right, but that doesn't necessarily mean your virus itself is corrosive if what you're doing isn't damaging the code that's there before.
Sure, more like a shield.
Right. So
So it's really a firewall you're looking for. And she kind of reaches over and grabs another book and brings it to the desk. She says, now this is about firewalls. Those are different. Firewalls, of course, keep things out, but they can also keep things in.
Right. Have you ever heard of a firewall that reacts back? So if, say, I came to your door and I knocked, and instead of you just hearing the sound or you open the door, I get shocked or pushed away from interacting with the door.
Sure, though that's a little bit more defensive magic, I would say. Why don't the both of you be real honest with me? And I'll see if I can't help you.
So Elizabeth wasn't wrong. We are doing this as part of the Hex Scouts.
Okay.
It's just that, well, I still can't get over the loss of Morwen, and someone suggested that maybe she's being kept somewhere, and potentially where she's kept is, well, partially in the digital space, and I was hoping I could find her. And so, well, I crafted a program that built out what I considered to be her essence and did a search for it. And I think it found where it needed to go. But then I got a bunch of emails full of viruses and had to, try to wipe my phone before it crashed or exploded or something. So, firewalls that fight back?
She says, firewalls do not fight back. They simply keep things out. I appreciate your honesty, though I am a bit worried you are in over your head, Percy. You are a fantastic cybermancy witch, but this is something that you can't just dabble in.
Well,
if somebody has written the essence of a person into digital code, they have literally broken their soul apart. What do you know about dealing with the soul, Percy?
Not much. Wait, so Morwen's broken? Can she put back together? Can we help her?
If what you say is true, which has only ever been whispered of, the idea of splitting a witch or a mundane apart from their physical body into a digital realm, and breaking that into, oh, thanks, Eris, breaking that into a, I don't know, ooh, is that me?
Sorry, that's me.
Oh, that's okay. I was like, oh god, what did I do? And then breaking that into digital code is difficult. The human soul is not a physical thing. Neither is the mind, which means it writes itself based upon essence, as you said, and subconscious.
Right.
I can create an image in, say, Photoshop. And I can show you the digital code of how that image is created, yes? I can break it down. The mind and the soul are different. It's not as simple as simply writing it. So I suspect if you did do what you say you did, which is create a identical version of what you believed her essence to be, and sent it out into the web looking for anything to ping back. If you did it well enough, Percy, congratulations. You may have actually found her. Oh. But clearly there was something protecting her. I will tell you, it will be significantly easier to find your friend inside of the digital realm.
So do we, go there?
Can we... Well, if we find her there, could we bring her back? And if we don't have her body, what would happen to her?
could we put her in something else for until we find her body?
Sure. Technically, if her soul and mind are a digital code, you could put her on a thumb drive.
Oh,
What's a thumb drive?
well, I have one. And Percy kind of like pulls out from her pocket a little
Perfect.
USB thumb drive.
You may need more than, She looks at it. I don't know how much is on your
8
thumb
gigs.
drive. 8 gigs. Yeah, she says you're going to probably need more than 8 gigs, but
Okay.
person is made up of a lot of code. But you could potentially, yes, download her into a hard drive, and then the hard part is getting her from that digital realm back. A
Right.
soul and a mind cannot exist in our current realm without a body.
Does it have to be an organic body?
And can we put her in a robot?
She smiles. You theoretically could build a AI that she could exist in. Or connect with and repurpose her that way, I guess. Though it begs to question, where is her body?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I'm going to give you another book.
Okay.
I should not do this, but I will. She kind of flips her short blonde hair. It's very apparent that she's basically Elle Woods. She should have been the popular girl. So the fact that she's your cybermancy teacher is kind of odd. She carries herself very well. She dresses very different than the other teachers. She was the popular kid. You can only rightfully assume. And she comes back over with a different book. This one does not come from her bookshelf, but from behind her desk.
Oh.
She says, This is my personal book. Get up here, cat, so I can finish what I'm doing. Come on. Come on. She wants up here so bad.
Grace says I'm important
She's
too.
like, hello. And she says, this is my personal journal. I've been doing research for a long time to the limits of cybermancy, to the possibilities of where it could go. But I will be honest with you. It is going to be difficult for you, as a lonesome cybermancer, to do this on your own.
Well, could you help us? I can show you I can remake the program.
She says,
that
no,
I made.
I cannot help you. I'm just your teacher.
Okay.
But I can give you the people who can. Oh, yes, Elizabeth.
I know time and space magic. Does that help?
I think it will.
It does.
Eventually.
In my writings, I have spent my lifetime, against my mother's best wishes, talking about the way that cybermancy and cyber magic can connect with all other types, both time and space. Botany can connect with alteration, defense, offense. So my writings are not about how to be a cybermancy witch, but instead how to use it in a way that connects with other forms of magic. Yes, Elizabeth.
I would be interested in reading your writing if you could give me copies.
She
If you
smiles.
want, I can give you some of my ethics books and papers, but I don't know how interested you'd be in those.
She says, how about you work on those and you bring them to me in 10 years? She says, they're still a work in progress. So are mine. But since you asked so politely, I'll give you one other thing that you may find beneficial. I don't always get along with the rest of my kind, I guess you could say, our kind. But there is one group in particular that despise cybermancy witches. They believe that our magic is a distasteful and disdainful view of what we do. So you can take this. And she hands Elizabeth a much smaller book. It's kind of more of like a pocket-sized journal. Don't worry, I have already typed all of this up, so these are just my originals. This book talks about a secret society. You could call it my conspiracy theory, if you like. I believe that there's a group called the Highbenders. Most witches will tell you that they don't exist, that they are ghosts made up by witches to keep other witches in line. But they are real. And I believe that they have two very specific and very purposeful goals. One of them is to wipe cybermancy from the witch world and every witch that practices it. Secondly, I believe that they plan to do this by raising a Kanaida. So, you take that for what you will. Can I help you get your friend back? No, I cannot. Unfortunately, that is not my job. As Hex Scouts, you must be the boldest and the bravest. So you take this information, and you do with it as you like. Please don't lose my journals.
We won't. We will bring them back to you.
And Percy, expect a phone call in a few days.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I have
Thank
a
you.
feeling that there is somebody that you should meet.
Oh. Okay. Thank you.
She says
and
you're-
Percy kind of
Mhm.
stands up holding all the books. We will bring these back soon.
She says, I hope so. And you didn't get them from me?
Of course not. Mm-mm.
Wonderful. Skedaddle, I have things to do. Yes, Elizabeth.
Where did they come from then?
She smiles. and says,
Elizabeth, my mom sent them to us. You know,
So she's
'Cause
your
I-
mom?
brought them from home. We'll work on it. And she kind of nudges Elizabeth out the door.
As you nudge Elizabeth out the door, you see she sits, she doesn't even move, she kind of closes the door with a swipe of her finger, and as you peer through the glass, you can see she begins kind of clicking and typing away. Not before, of course, she makes a phone call. The five of you reconvene, almost serendipitously, back in your room. Dinner has dinner has passed. And it is evening. Tomorrow is Friday, the last day of the week. And you guys are kind of free to, I guess, like I said, reconvene.
Percy walks over to her desk and drops all the books there, and then turns back to everyone. Well, we didn't necessarily get answers, but we got direction.
I mean, we have to be on the right trail, right? To read the thing.
I think so. Yeah.
We both got the same information about the Highbender, so
Wait. Hi, Benders.
yes.
We just.
Check your messages. You gotta check your messages.
I was in with the teacher.
You just see
Percy-
this stream of all these messages, 30 messages
She-
with
Okay, fine. Hold on. And Percy starts flicking through them and reading everything that you sent.
it's a lot of. It's all caps. It's all caps and exclamation marks everywhere.
We
Okay,
got a
okay.
journal, and I think we might be able to use time and space magic to help with this situation.
Did you guys get a good look at the picture?
Did you send us a picture?
Yeah, scroll up,
Yeah.
halfway.
Oh, okay.
Scroll. I'm sure there's been 1,000 messages, and you get to it. Percy, you bring it up, and Elizabeth, you put eyes on it for the first time as well. I would say, Elizabeth. Well, do you guys tell them what you found when you back searched the image through the web?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that was in the messages. Like there was like all caps.
When they
like,
pull
everybody.
up like the screenshot they took of the wanted sign, and then the like ratemywitchprofessor.com or .witch or whatever the website was, Kika, the person that was pulled up that says Hagatha looks just like Scion.
I know that person.
What? Yeah.
You know this person?
Yeah, I know that person.
Who is this person?
We got
Wait,
tacos.
Wait, this is who you got tacos with?
Yeah,
Oh,
they were good tacos.
that
No,
was
okay.
our,
And she gave me all that information.
Wait,
Wait.
you said you met with someone from the 13 when we left, right?
Yeah, she was with the 13.
She's
That's Hagatha, our time and space
Did
professor.
can I?
And
I
that
remember.
was-
Did she ask where Elizabeth was? Was she the one that asked where Elizabeth was?
You mean
Yes.
Hagatha?
yeah, because we were
Yeah.
talking about it in time and space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she,
Oh.
You also
Oh.
know, based on the like picture of a picture that you took from the art from the trophy room, there's two of them. They are the twins.
So they're twins.
And that was the lady who did all of that killing at the York
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see that too, Raven. Elizabeth doesn't recognize that woman.
Yeah.
But when they kind of point it out and show you the wanted sign from the Witches World Council, you're able to piece together that that's Raven's.
Morwen.
Morwen's like mentor, the woman she was with long before she.
Okay, hold on.
This,
So
what's
this
his name?
person-
Oh.
This person, and Percy points to the photo
Mhm.
of the one who's on the Witches World Council. She goes, she's one of the 13, and Elizabeth, you got tacos with her,
Yeah.
and this is also Tiffany keeping up. So is
Yeah.
she's also our time and space professor, right?
Yes.
Not
I think
also. There are two of them. They are
They're
twins.
twins.
Right. I was getting to that.
Oh, okay. Yes. So you're correct.
The
They
one
look
who's
the
on
same.
the World Council is also our professor, right?
No.
No. Okay. This is
Oh.
why Tiffany is saying
Okay, okay, yeah.
Scion and Hagatha are
This
twins.
is
Scion and Hagatha are twins. Scion's on
The
Witches
the
World
Covenant
Council.
of 13.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
the Covenant 13.
Hagatha
Okay.
is your time and space mentor.
okay.
And that's the
teacher.
one who mentored Morwen.
And who's the?
No.
and
Okay.
Okay.
So let me start at the beginning and see if I can't better explain. Because Tiff was out when we went through that scene.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
this image has four faces that you recognize. It seems very old. Okay, there are
Okay.
four faces. Well, there are now four faces that you recognize.
Okay.
One of which is Aurora Mist, young
Perfect.
Aurora Mist. This seems to be some kind of. They're all wearing Hex Scout vests. This seems to be their Hex Scout troop from when they all went here.
Okay. So we have Aurora Mist.
Uh-huh. Aurora Mist is in the image. Along with Aurora Mist is Loretta's mother,
Okay.
which Loretta noted. In addition, there were two other faces that you recognize, kind of. When
Yes.
they basically ran the image back through the internet and back to try to ping it. What they brought up was this my professor whatever, and Hagatha's face showed. Of course, the Covenant of 13 would not be listed anywhere on the internet, so it didn't ping Scion's face, but you can rightfully assume, since they're identical twins, that one of them is Hagatha and one of them is Scion. And then, in addition, the last face that pinged back from the back search of the image online was a wanted sign from the Witches World Council that had Morwen's mentor on it. She was part of their Hex Scout troop.
Morwen's
Okay.
mentor is the other. Okay, that's where I lost that.
So really,
All
there
right.
are 5 ladies out of 7 that seem to ring or ping true here, and that you guys have managed to piece together.
Okay, cool. That helped me.
Yeah, yes, I realized that you weren't here when we went through the whole like archive trophy room scene. So that's the and it came.
Oh, I was
yeah.
confused too because when you said 4 faces and then you said 5 things, I
Yeah.
didn't realize.
So
you
technically
counted
4
the
faces, but there
That
are 5
we-
people. Yeah,
Okay.
because 2 of the faces are identical.
Okay.
I totally forgot.
So, okay, looking at this, we know
Mhm.
who these 5 are, and one of them is Morwen's mentor, and Aurora Miss knows who this is.
Yeah.
I hate saying this. I think we have to talk to Aurora Mist again.
I have a question.
It's okay. Yeah.
So,
Of the time and space professor, what's her last name?
Did I
Oh,
write
Hagatha does have a last name. Hang on, I can give that to you. I think it's like Hagatha.
Hagatha Cross.
Hagatha Cross.
It's Hagatha Cross.
Okay. Okay.
Do you know it? Like, I mean, you will know it. She's our professor. Like,
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that it didn't start with a B.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wait, hold on. HB, we're all on the same page. That's Highbenders,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
we
thinking
think so.
so.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Okay. Yeah. I think
I
It
was-
never hurts
Yeah.
to double check. Yeah, you guys are pretty sure that the strange message that came back came from HB, which potentially is Highbender or Highbenders. You're not sure.
singular or plural.
Singular
we
or
know
plural.
that's the direction we're going.
Yeah.
And a rap comes to your door.
I got
Who
it.
is it?
It's Ashley. Let me in.
Yep. Yeah. And we told her. It's fine. It's fine.
Sort of.
Why are we whispering?
Ashley.
Do you want a taco?
I'll open her. I'll open the door. Let her in.
Okay, she comes in and she goes, "Your room is so big."
I did that.
Oh no. Focus, Ashley. We have a
Welcome
problem.
letter?
What?
We have a problem. Problem.
What is it?
What?
Maybe I should just show you. And she leads you down to the computer lab, to where Jess was like searching. The screens in the computer lab are black, sans red witch's code that trails down the screen. Something has corrupted the school computers. And you see two witches, two of your classmates, sit there, fingers on the keyboard, clacking away. Their eyes have a red glare over them as if they have been possessed. And we're going to stop today's episode right there. And you guys can save the two witches next week. All right, crew. So, it is 9 o'clock. This is our closing time. Oh, Eris is like, no.
Eris is really mad that I said we should talk to the headmistress again.
All right, let's go around. We'll go backwards this time. Tell us who you are and where we can actually find you online, and I will drop links for all of our witches here in chat. And, well, that means we start with Kika.
Hey, I'm Kika. You can find me around the internet doing advocacy stuff and being on games and bacon. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/KikaVO, and you can find my baking Patreon, which is launching soon, at patreon.com/baking.
Get on that baking.
Yay.
Baking.
Cool. That makes it Catherine.
Yes, I'm Catherine Barsonistas, also gluttonous_geek on Twitter. I run the nerdy food blog, gluttonousgeek.com, where you can find recipes inspired by video games and even this tabletop RPG. I also am the Gluttonous Geek on Twitch, where I run the stream Munchies and Minis, where it's a tabletop-inspired cooking show. I first cook a snack and then work on painting a mini. This week's 52 weeks of D&D challenge word is dragon. So I am making what I'm calling chromatic dragon cheese eggs. So chromatic dragon eggs, but they're cheese balls.
Yes! I want a
So-
dragon cheese ball.
And also should be appropriate for Game of Thrones. So
Oh, very much so.
so yeah, that's where you can find me.
Very cool. That takes us over to... We started with Tiff, so that makes it Shauna.
Hey, Sean Oxoni, Flying Cirrus on Twitter, where I have illustration and have a pin tweet for all the games that I play over the week, which is a lot. Big tonal switches. After this, my next game is actually like a Judge Dredd game, so it's kind of all over the place for games.
That's great. Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Tiff.
Hello, I am Tiffany, and you can find me personally on all the Instagram, social media things as RTS Cosplay. It stands for Rattle the Stars Cosplay. You can also find me as a producer, GM, and player for the podcast North by North Quest, which is NXN Quest everywhere that I do with Dot. So please check us out. It's we release every Wednesday. I GM every other Wednesday, and I play the opposite one. So it's you hear me every week. We'll just see what I'm doing. So yeah, please check it out.
Very nice. And I'm Little Red Dot. If you guys have made it here to the Dot Lot today, thank you for being here for our little witch girl adventure. If you supported today, if you subscribed, if you followed, all those things, thank you. You can do so and support the channel in a slew of other ways. Know that today's game is brought to you by the Dot Lot Patreon. So you guys made this show happen. So thank you. If you want to get in on that, you can do so by joining for as little as $2 a month. You get access to cool things and first access to a lot of stuff, including mine and Kika's private games that we're going to be kind of doing throughout this, just like the one that we aired. So you'll get it a week in advance, basically, long before anybody else does. And in addition, you can gain access to my Discord, private chats on a monthly basis with me. And then also get to vote what our next game will be. So that is getting ready to come up. Witch Girls will eventually have to come to a close. And when it does, I don't know yet what the next one will be. There are a lot of things on the table. So please go support. It is greatly appreciated. More importantly, if you're liking Witch Girls, guess what? You can get the entire Witch Girls Adventures bundle. Right there. For, I believe, $25, you get 20 PDFs, people. $25 gets you 20 PDFs. The entirety of the Witch Girls collection, which we're about to start diving. I've been using a lot of the core book, but we're about to start pulling away from the core book and diving into some of the cybermancy books, into this book over here. I've got some big plans. Oh, thanks for showing up. It's okay if you're here at the last minute. We're just kind of doing outros, so. More importantly, I want to say that the month of May is a little crazy for me. So if you want to find me, there'll be a few places to do it on a regular basis, but I am going to be cutting back streams. So we will have one more game. No, this one. So the 7th and the 14th, because I will be moving, we're going to take a 2-week break from Witch Girl Adventures. I know, our hearts break. It's gonna be okay. Don't fret. I'm very excited because, 1, I'm getting a new place and a new setup, which will be fun. And 2, the other reason is the week after I move, you can catch Tiff and I, actually, for the D&D live event in LA, which is super awesome. So that is one of the reasons that we're going to kind of be slowing down. But you will be able to catch me on Roll For It, over the next 2 Saturdays before I kind of break from them. So know that if you hear a little less from this Dot over the next month, it is because I'm out of spoons, and I'm trying desperately just to get my life back in order. But I am not going anywhere. I will come back. So just keep an eye on my Twitter. It's probably the best way. And I'll let you guys know what shows I'll be actually doing, even though I'm taking a mini break and a minor break from quite a few of them. So let me just drop that right there.
Definitely keep your eye out. I know for D&D Live, The Descent, I believe the podcast games will be streamed as well. So we will make sure to share that with all of you as well. So keep an eye on the NXNQ Twitter as well as Dot's Twitter for all that fun.
For all of that. And I think I can say they didn't put me in a non-disclosure about what character I'm playing. If you like,
we can tell our characters.
I can tell you guys. So if you guys are fans of North by Northwest, Silo will not be going to LA. She's gonna stay in Atlanta. But Dewey, your favorite 5-year-old, will be making an appearance at D&D Live as our 5-year-old barbarian.
And if you are current with NXNQ, our favorite executive assistant, Imp, Scratches, will also be there, as I am bringing my favorite NPC I've ever played as well. A monk turned executive assistant. What could be better?
Yep. So just know, I'm trying to think, this week, the last place you're going to be able to see me stream this week will be actually the premiere of Roll For It's Game of Thrones Riverlands campaign. Come watch me play the Dornish ambassador. She's actually a Dornish bastard and ambassador, and diplomat who, she's got her cunning ways. I'm very excited, and I have a bitchin' wig to wear, so it's gonna be great. I'm very, very stoked. Ambassador.
The best.
The bastard, and the bastard. I'm so excited about it. So anyways, it's gonna be Ambassador. That's kind of actually pretty much true. I'm very, very excited. Obviously VTM has come to a close. My heart weeps, but I am very excited to be bringing a very sassy character to Roll4's channel. So that's kicking up. Will be a ton of fun. I can only imagine with that crew. And yeah, I want to thank you guys again for tuning in to Witch Girl Adventures. We will be back in 2 weeks, so give us some time. We'll keep you guys posted. Don't give up on me. I got to get through the life stretch over the next 2 weeks, and I will be back. So if you want to keep up with actually that and chat with the witches here, or any of the other shows and things that I'm going on, just join my Discord. It's the best way. We have tons and tons of chat, and now that I have a Riverlands forum there, we're talking all the Game of Thrones things. So if you need a place to spill your Game of Thrones guts, I actually think I took a screenshot the other day where it was people, like it was like box of text, all of it under spoiler. Like it was like a whole page, I was like scrolling and it was just spoiler text from everybody like talking about it. So if you want in on that, come get in on it, because it got real intense real fast. Alright, gang, that is it. I leave you with a solid goodbye and letting you know the next time that we Witch Girl, I will not be here. Literally, my physical place will be different. I'll have a whole separate setup. Who knows what it will bring our way. Until then, I wish you all the best. And thank you again, Lot, for making this show a possibility. Until next time, let's not do anything. You know what? Today, because Raven couldn't be here, don't do anything Raven wouldn't do. Yeah! Until next time. Bye, guys.